The questions to the Counsel General, and the first question comes from Hannah Blythen.
Counsel General had with other law officers regarding the case to the Shrewsbury 24.
The member will know that this answer is subject to the established Law Officers Convention.
Thank you, Counsel General. You'll be familiar, but members may or not be familiar from the conversations I've had this week of the case of the Shrewsbury 24. The early 1970s saw the first and only national building workers' strike, where workers were on strike for 15 days, and at the time where building workers were at the bottom of the pay scale and health and safety was non-existent, with building workers being killed on an all too regular basis. Following the strike, workers who took part in the flying pickets, including two constituents of mine, Arthur Murray and Terry Renshaw, were arrested and subsequently cleared at Mould Crown Court. They were then re-arrested and sent for trial at Shrewsbury Crown Court, where the pickets were convicted on a number of charges and some of whom were sent to prison. Nearly 40 years later, there's not been justice and many questions remain, such as why were they cleared in Mould and then re-arrested and trialled in Shrewsbury. Counsel General, whilst I recognise criminal justice remains non-devolved, can I ask what consideration has been given to how this injustice has impacted on Welsh workers and whether you'll meet with me to discuss this further?
Well, I thank you very much for the question, and of course the campaign in respect of the Shrewsbury pickets is one of a number of miscarriage of justice campaigns from the 70s and 80s, amongst them Hillsborough and Orgreave. And of course, a common issue that arises in that campaign and others is the issue relating to the integrity of the judicial system and the alleged abuse of power. And of course, the common feature often in these cases is the actual use of conspiracy laws. That was certainly the case in Orgreave and was certainly the case in respect of the Shrewsbury 24. And members will also recall the issues with regard to the use of conspiracy laws regarding the campaigns against Cymdeithas Iaith Cymraeg in the 70s and indeed 80s relating to the campaign for the S4C channel. I can also tell members, of course, that I remember very well meeting with one of those who was in prison, Desi Warren, in the 70s in respect of campaigns around those very issues. So I'm very familiar and very alert to the issues that they actually raise. Perhaps what I could do is ask the member if she would perhaps write to me with her request for Welsh Government support and a meeting, and I will ensure that such a request is carefully considered by the Welsh Government.